Okay, for number 72, notice, well, first off, the way it's kind of shaky up here. The printer didn't work, didn't print the very top, so I had to go back in and fill in with a magic marker. So that's why it looks kind of crazy, but hopefully you have a nice printout. This reads the number of video stores in a region recently decreased from 103 to 64. Find the percent decrease. Okay, whenever you're asked to find the percent increase or the percent decrease, you're going to have to follow this pattern. You put the difference over the original, and that is equal to, they're always going to say find the percent, so it's what percent over 100. You really need to use this proportion if they ask for the percent decrease or the percent increase. Okay? And you don't have to worry if it's going down or up. That'll be taken care of with how this gets set up. But if it says percent decrease or increase, this is the proportion you're going to use. Okay, the difference. It was at 103 and it went down to 64. So the difference is not given. We're going to have to calculate the difference. So we have so that's a 9, 13. So the difference between 103 and 64 is 39. Maybe I'll get my x over 100, since there's no question, that's always sitting there. And then let's see, over the original. So was it originally 103? Was it originally 64? It was originally 103. And now we solve for x. Okay? You want to get rid of that 100. So you multiply each side by 100. Zoom out a tiny bit here. Alright, if it helps you to see that as 100 over 1, that's fine. Not much is going to clean up here. So, over here, well, that always cleans up, right? So we have x equals, alright, and then this is 39 times 100 is just 3,900 over 103. And we're going to have to do some division here, okay? So 3,900 divided by 103, let's see where it gets us. Well, it certainly goes in there 3 times. Okay, so that would be 309. With 81 left over. Let's bring down our 0, and if I say it'll go in here 8 times, notice this 3 will cause it to be 824, so 8 won't work. We'll have to go with 7. Alright, so 7 times 103, that gives us 721. Okay, so there's a 10, so there's 89 left over. Notice we've run out of digits here, so we have to put in our decimal, tell the world, and give ourselves a few zeros. Hopefully that'll be enough. Let's bring this down. 890. Notice if I say it goes in, again, this time 8 will work, right? Because that would be 824. All right. So we have 8, and that gives us 824. And let's see. 10, 6, 66. And if you remember, I'm going to bring down this next digit. If you remember at the beginning it said that we could do some rounding. I'll bring that back in here for a second just to reiterate exactly what I'm up to. I'm going to zoom in on this. I know this is pretty small. Okay, so it said, if necessary, round percents to the nearest tenth. All right, so that's what we're going to do here. We're going to round to the nearest tenth. Let me zoom back out. That should pretty much do it. All right, I'm going to have to slide this all up here for a second. Okay, so if I'm going to round to the nearest tenth, all I need to know is this digit here. Let me emphasize that. I just have to know if the digit is 4 or less or 5 or greater, right? That's all I'm concerned with. So I'm standing in the tenths place, I'm looking at the next digit, and I just need to know if this is 0 through 4 or 5 through 9. Okay, I don't have to do any other calculations. So let's just see. 103 goes into 660. Obviously it's going to go in 6 times. That would be 618. But all I need to know is that this is 5 or greater, and that means I'm going to round up. Okay, so we have 37.9. And this is already taken care of where the decimal is supposed to go. You just have to remember to put in your percent sign. Okay, so it was a 37.9% decrease. Number 74. Okay, let's see. We've got sort of a long sentence, and my strategy is usually to boil this down to a shorter one and then solve it. See if we can zoom in a little. And again, we'll be rounding if the occasion presents itself, okay? Since the directions told us we could do that. Alright, so let's see. Sales rep paid commission of 4.1%. Finder commission, she sold 54,270. So I would say one way to come up with the short sentence is 4.1% of 54,270 is how much or is what number? Alright, there's other ways you could word this, but I went through a few of those earlier. So now let's just change this to an equation and solve it. 4.1%. If you want to get rid of your percent sign, the decimal goes away 2 spaces. Okay, this is the exact same amount as this. It's just written in a different form. All right, of 54,270, that means times is what number? Okay. So here all I'm going to have to do is multiply. X is already all by itself. So do my calculation. Let me zoom out one here. And I guess I'll do my calculation over here. Alright, so I've got, let me make sure I have good room. 54270.041. And we're trying to multiply this guy. Alright, so multiplying by 1 goes pretty fast. all you have to do is rewrite the number. Before we start with our 4, you got to put in a 0, and now 7, 28, 8, 9, 10, 16, 17, 21. It might look like a lot of money, but we're going to have to move the decimals, so don't forget that. 5, that's 12. Bring down our 2. And you have 1, 2, 3 digits behind the decimal, so you come in 3 spaces. So this sales rep made $2,225.07. And that makes sense. If you sell something that's worth $54,000, doesn't take much of a percentage to get you up to $2,225.